Hey, what's going on, Ages? Welcome back to Boosted Gaming, and today we're going to be bringing you another build video. This one's actually my shield build that I promised you guys. This is a build that I more or less put together strictly for boss number 3. As you guys know, I typically run a DPS hazard build for the majority of the raid. Boss 3, we tend to shake things up a little bit. I have a healer build, which is in another video, linked down in the description below. And also we'll put a link to my DPS and hazard build in that as well. That'll be down below with that as well. But today we're focusing on our shield build. So the shield build has been revamped a few times. As you can see, we go with the firewall specialization. So not only does it give you a cool little flamethrower to kind of piss people off, but it gives you, it will light people on fire upon armor break. If my armor was to break for any reason, being 2 million armor, that almost never happens. But if it does, the people close to me will light on fire, which is always welcome. Gives me a few extra seconds to react, maybe get my shield back up, or get healed by my teammate. It also gives you mods for your actual shield, and we'll run into that here shortly. As you can see, I'm still using the mechanical animal for this. We don't really have any skill tiers stacked, which is fine, but what's nice is it gives me at least one skill tier, which stacks up to 3, so I can get up to 3 different skill tiers by not even having any skill tiers. So at least I can hit skill tier level 3 with this weapon, even though I don't currently have anything modded in or tied into any yellows. This is strictly a blue build. Sweet Dreams is my secondary, primarily because anything from a purple enemy to a red enemy, I can go up, smack them in the face, and they are done. They are instantly killed. Obviously, you can't do that to a gold bar. It would be kind of cool if you could, but it doesn't. It doesn't do it just yet. Pistol doesn't really matter. I don't really focus on any of that. Very hardly do I ever pull out the pistol. So let's get into this. So the face mask you're seeing is the heat mask from the Foundry Bulwark gear set. And as you can see, this one came with maxed armor. I put some hazard protection into it. It's got a 12% protection from Elite's mod on it. Like I said, so initially this was rolled with without hazard. I initially had health built into this. I was kind of playing around with things a little bit, and I want to say that hazard or health, it doesn't really matter which way you go with it. I was kind of playing around with this gear set more for boss number 2, seeing if we had to stay in the room. But I'm going to be probably going back to a health roll on that because that worked really well on, like I said, boss 3. So either way you want to go with it, hazard's pretty decent, but I think a health roll would be better there. For the chest, I went with a Gila Guard, primarily because it was probably one of the best ones that I had with Vanguard. So the Vanguard that I had rolled on it, but it does have critical hit damage. I'd much rather have like a hazard or something else there. I'd rather have all blue instead of having that, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't be very picky with the loot drops these days. But you can see it's got maxed out armor. It's got a health roll on it, which is nearly maxed, and I've got some bleed resistance. Hopefully I can find a different mod for it, but ultimately this chest doesn't do too bad in terms of this overall build out. As you can see, the one piece is total armor for Gila Guard. The 2 piece would be an additional 10% health. Like I said, building into health is kind of key with boss number 3. Stepping into the actual holster here, you see we went with another Foundry Bulwark. So that second piece now grants us the 2 piece grants us a total of 10% total armor. 3 piece will give us some armor regen. Core attribute being armor is not fully maxed out, but as you can see, I did max out my health roll here. So I am in the process of looking for another holster, preferably with maxed out armor, so I can get the best rolls I can on this. When we go up to the backpack, you'll see that we have our second piece of Gila, like I said, which gives us that 10% additional health. This one does have a max armor roll. It does have a decent health roll. It's got some armor regen on it. It also has 12% protection from Elite mod on it. And I was swapping between Protector and I believe it was Adrenaline Rush. only because Adrenaline Rush gives you, I want to say it's Adrenaline Rush that gives you additional armor when you're within a certain distance to an enemy, and it stacks an extra few times. However, team-wise, that's only good for you. It's not really good for the team. So with Protector, anytime my shield is out, not only do I get a 5% bonus armor buff, but my allies are getting an additional 15% of my armor as bonus armor. Granted, it's only for 3 seconds, but at least that's any time that you're taking damage. So anytime they are shooting at you, which is on the regular, especially if you're face to face with the boss, your team is going to keep getting that bonus armor every 3 seconds. So think about full armor for everybody, and then they're getting an additional 15% from you. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but it can definitely turn the tide. It's definitely a game changer at times. For the gloves, you see we stepped into the 511 Tacticals, primarily because the one piece brings an automatic 10% health boost to it. So this one also came with maxed out armor. I maxed out the health, and then as you can see, it's got an armor regen roll on it, which is fine. Let's see, with the knees, we ended up going with another piece of Foundry. So this completes our third piece, gives us that armor regen of 3%. This one came with maxed out armor as well. And then the attribute being, I want to say initially was health. Again, like I said, I was kind of playing around and I rolled hazard into it. I'm probably going to change this back to a health roll. Only because I think it performed a little bit better than the hazard was performing. But again, it all comes down to personal preference and playstyle, ultimately, and how good your team is with communication. This build would be more than fine when it comes to Boss 3, even if I wasn't to tweak it or change those rolls that I was telling you that I would change back to health rolls. As you can see, I'm running here my shields. So my shield has a health of 13.4 million with an active regen of 181,000 per second. And it's currently a skill tier 6 because, again, we are all blue. So you get a 120% active regen, 400% shield health, and you get 40% holstered regen. So if your shield takes a ton of damage, you're still going to get that holstered regen at 40%, allowing you to shoot that nice little AR up here, the mechanical animal, and try to keep yourself, some fun. As you see for hives, I am running a restorer hive, primarily because this will help kind of keep my armor up, especially when I'm in a face-to-face tank with the boss. Again, it's only got 16 charges, so it's definitely not as good as my healer build. But if you're not running a dedicated healer, and I'm nowhere close to that dedicated healer, this helps me kind of stay alive a little bit, primarily for armor. Obviously, it's not going to do anything for health, but that's why having those health rolls is kind of key. So if you can have over 500,000 health, that's your ideal spot. That's like your sweet spot. 500k or better for health will give you a ton of survivability when it comes to boss 3, especially when you're the one face tanking him with your shield. So, and for mods on my shield, you'll see that I've got, let's get into it here. For mods, you'll see that I'm running 4.6 holstered regen, which is almost maxed out. But here's the specialization ones, right? So these are the ones that come from Firewall. 8% active regen, huge in my opinion, and then 8% shield health just on mods. So they typically cap out at 5%. These are 8, so you get an additional 3% per mod. So an additional 3% shield health, an additional 3% active regen. Might not seem like a lot, but it's nice when you're sitting in front of that boss and he's not taking you out, but he is banging the hell out of that shield. So like I said, that is one reason why I went with the firewalls, because of the mods that it has for the shield. It gives you that survivability overall. And again, like I said, I wanted to have all blue, having a red in here. I mean, it is what it is. You gotta just pray to the RNG gods. But like I said, this build will get you through boss 3 as the tank, kind of going face to face with the boss, so your team can focus his bag. That is the key. You want to get him turned around, get him focused on you, so that way your team has as much of his back to them. So he is literally just being peppered until that bag breaks and he can't heal no more. And before you know it, that key drops and you guys would be done with boss number 3. So hopefully this helped you out, guys. This is, like I said, my 3rd build. This is just another build that I run on Iron Horse Raid. And it all depends on what my team needs from me. I like being a versatile player. I like having multiple builds available to me as much as I can. And a huge shout out to TSW and GC Rock and all the guys over there. You know, we've been putting in long hours trying to get guides done for you guys, trying to get content done for you guys, trying to make sure that everybody can get through this raid as easily and as quickly as we can. I mean, that's our overall goal. We're out here to help everybody as much as we can. So, and I take a lot of pride and joy in helping out where I can. So hopefully this helped you. If it did, hit that like button. It means a lot. Show that support to the channel. Subscribe so that way you guys know every time I upload content. Hit the bell notification as well, so anytime I go live, you guys are notified as well. I do try to go live pretty regularly, especially with Division content. Sometimes it's Rocket League, sometimes it's Division, but primarily it's Division, especially with this new raid out. So thank you for joining me, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully this, like I said, hopefully this build helped you out. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Y'all stay classy. Peace.